In a world where AI can write poetry, analyze data, and give you advice, you just knew it was going to come from one of the oldest traditions we have. So let's just get right into it. Can an algorithm really read the stars and tell you your future?
I mean, this is the big question you see everywhere now, and you can't blame people for asking it. It's totally logical. If an AI can crunch massive amounts of data, and a lot of the time it's free, why on earth would you still pay a person for an astrology reading? It's a real challenge to a very ancient practice.
But here's where it gets interesting. When people were actually polled on this recently, the answer was, well, pretty overwhelming. Most of us just don't think AI is there yet. There's this deep-seated feeling that an algorithm can't give you those truly precise, personal insights.
So, is that skepticism justified, or is it just a matter of time before our robot overlords take over the zodiac too? Let's actually break it down and see exactly what AI can do, and more importantly, what it can't.
Okay, first up, let's start where AI is most comfortable. We're talking about the kind of astrology almost everyone sees every single day. The daily horoscope you find in an app or on a website.
Right. When it comes to that kind of fun, generalized, hey, watch out for this today content you scroll past with your morning coffee, AI is perfect for that. I mean, it's very, very likely that a huge chunk of that stuff is already being written by algorithms. It's low stakes, it's high volume, and there's no real personal responsibility attached.
But what happens when we move up a level? When we go beyond those generic horoscopes to something deeply personal, like your own birth chart? Well, this is where we start to see the first real cracks in the AI's armor.
Now, don't get me wrong, what an AI can do with your birth chart is pretty impressive. It can scan all your planetary and house positions, connect them to a massive database of personality traits, and spit out interpretations. It can even tell you about general trends coming up for you. On a purely technical level, it's seriously powerful.
So you've got this trade-off. Using an AI is way faster and cheaper than a human, for sure. It's actually great for getting a general overview. But you can't have a conversation with it. You can't ask, hey, what did you mean by that? You might get interpretations that totally contradict each other. And at the end of the day, you're left with broad trends, not concrete answers to your specific problems.
And this is the crucial point right here. The AI is working with a static model of your personality. It's a snapshot based on your birth data. It can describe what's generally possible for someone with your chart. What it absolutely cannot do is process a dynamic, real-time moment of choice. That "what should I do right now" kind of question.
And that inability to process a moment of choice brings us to a very specific type of astrology. One where the whole practice is built on a foundation that an algorithm just can't stand on. This is where AI hits a hard, fundamental wall.
It's called Horary Astrology, and this is a completely different ballgame. It's not about your personality. It's about casting a chart for the precise moment a really important question is asked by one person and truly understood by another, the astrologer. The chart isn't for you, it's for the question itself.
Now, to get why AI fails here, you have to understand this one core idea. In horary astrology, a question like, will I get this job, isn't just a string of words you type into a machine. It's treated as something much, much more profound.
It's seen as a living event, something that is born at a specific moment in time. And for that birth to be valid, it requires two conscious participants: the person asking, who genuinely needs to know the answer, and the astrologer, who fully receives and understands the weight of that question. It's a shared moment.
And there it is. That's the gap that can't be bridged. An AI can process the text of your question, no problem, but it cannot be a conscious participant in that moment. It's an observer, a processor. It's not a co-creator of that event. And because of that, it simply can't perform the core function of horary astrology.
So, when you put it all together, what's the final verdict? When you put the algorithm in the ring with the human astrologer, who comes out on top?
It really boils down to this single core difference. The AI provides a description. It calculates possibilities based on a model. A human astrologer provides judgment. They are asked to make a specific call, a yes or a no, based on the unique context of one single moment.
Let's make this super practical. An AI can look at your chart and say, the energies are supportive of your career right now. But a human astrologer doing a horary reading is answering a totally different question, like, should I accept this specific job offer today? Or can my new business actually withstand the pressure it's under? Those questions require a specific, high-stakes judgment call.
And at the end of the day, judgment requires responsibility. An algorithm that gives you a vague forecast has no skin in the game. It doesn't feel the consequence if it's wrong. A human, on the other hand, providing a direct yes or no answer, understands and feels the weight of that potential error.
You know, maybe the most telling piece of evidence comes from the AI itself. If you ask it about this stuff, its own answer is crystal clear. It can summarize theories, it can describe possibilities, but it will explicitly tell you that it does not make astrological judgments. The algorithm knows its own limits. So while AI is an incredibly powerful tool for description and for analysis, it just stops cold at that boundary of decision-making and responsibility. And really, that leaves all of us with a much bigger question to think about. As our world gets more and more automated, what is the real, irreplaceable value of simple human judgment?